Welcome back to Hot Topics TV, BrainFLoTv. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and let's get right into the topic. Before we start, let me just say, I know P. Diddy is going through a lot right now, but I honestly think that Puffy is going to be standing tall at the end of all of this. What do you think? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Do you see him going to prison in handcuffs, being led away in a courtroom like R. Kelly, being locked up, facing years? Or do you see him standing tall at the end of all of this? Because trouble don't last forever. And this right here might seem bad right now, but you know they have a saying, this too shall pass. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think the outcome of all this is going to be. In the meantime, let's get into some of these details. Shout out to NBC. Federal agents raided Puffy's properties following 5 civil lawsuits accusing Puffy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Combs of sexual assault, trafficking, and other illegal activities. I know you want to know what the other illegal activities are, but he has denied all the allegations so far, and rightfully so. Ain't nobody standing up right now to say, yeah, I'm guilty, take me to prison. He's fighting, right? And in the United States of America, constitutionally, it is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But of course, as you can see in Puffy's case, it seems more like it's guilty until proven innocent. However, let's get on with the show. Sean P. Diddy Combs has been hit with a wave of civil lawsuits in recent months, and he is now a subject of a federal investigation. Federal agents recently executed search warrants on multiple properties of his where they found guns, and his phones were seized at an airport as part of a warrant that was issued from the U.S. District Courts for the Southern District of New York, law enforcement sources have said. Could you imagine you at the airport, you're about to board a plane, and the feds run up on you, and they're like, where's your cell phone? And you're like, my cell phone? What you want my cell phone for? They're like, where is your cell phone? Hand it over. And he's like, here, my cell phone's right here. And boom, they just take your cell phone. Now, you got to be squeaky clean, because most of us got something in our cell phone that we wouldn't want a stranger to see. Notice I never said something illegal. I said something you just wouldn't want a stranger to see. I don't know, you might have been sending a dick pic to your girl or something like that. Now they gone with your phone. Now they know what your dick look like without even strip searching you. You understand? Right, so a cell phone nowadays is a very personal thing. But they ran upon him at the airport and they took his cell phone. Right. A source that's familiar with what's going on told a couple of news media houses, including NBC News, that at least 4 people have been interviewed so far about all these allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and distribution of firearms, guns, drugs, sex. This is shaping up to be something like a Netflix series, The Life and Times of P. Diddy. It might not be Surviving P. Diddy like the Surviving R. Kelly series. This might just be a movie or a series. Aaron Dyer, an attorney for Puffy, described the raids as a gross overuse of military level force. Neither Puffy nor any of his family members have been arrested. This is what his attorney said. His attorney also put it out there that none of them have been, their travel papers haven't been taken. They're not on any kind of restrictions. So you can kill the false narrative that's out there in the public, because some people are passing around bad news that his travel papers have been taken away and his family members' travel papers have been taken away and they can't go anywhere because they're under investigation, and it's a lie. They're able to travel wherever the hell they feel like traveling to, right? So obviously it ain't that serious, and that's what his attorney was saying. Why did they come with such military grade force for something so small, and then you just walked away? Here are the lawsuits that were filed against Puffy prior to the raids, so you, my listeners, can understand. And let's remember that he has denied categorically, individually, every single one of these events. Starting with November of 2023, Cassie and two others first filed their lawsuits. The singer Cassie, Combs' former romantic partner, shocked many in November when she filed a civil suit against Puffy, alleging that he sexually and physically abused her during the course of their relationship. She filed her case on November 16th under the New York State's Adult Survivors Act, which gave adult victims of sexual violence a 1-year window to file civil claims regardless of the statute of limitation. Something that a lot of advocates have been saying is meant to be something good, but it's been abused. In this lawsuit, Cassie alleged that Puffy raped her, beat her badly in his fits of uncontrollable rage, and exerted a tight hold over her life. She spoke about trying to get away from him, and he would send his goblins and goons to find her wherever she was at. So she started living paranoid. She alleged that he would force her to engage in sexual acts that he called freak-offs. And there was one report that she wouldn't be allowed to record music, get in the studio, get new songs, perform on shows unless she participated in the freak-offs. And these freak-offs often happened with other men, often sex workers whom he would pay to travel with them while he watched. And it got even way grosser than that, because it was her job to select. And he wanted the ones with the biggest dinglings. And then he would sit there and watch them pound her. The abuse ranged from 2007 until Cassie left him in late 2018, is what the suit said. Of course, Puffy denied all these allegations from Cassie, whose full name is Cassandra Ventura, her real name, and they settled the lawsuit a day after it was filed. And this is where I think Hell's Gates opened, because everybody else said, well, shit, if he settled with Cassie less than 24 hours, he definitely will settle with me, because he don't want no problems. He got too much going on corporate-wise to take on some dirty news on his name. Joy Dickerson Neal said that Cassie's lawsuit inspired her to come forward and file a lawsuit against Combs November 23rd, a day before the Adult Survivor Act was set to expire. Dickerson Neal said that Puffy drugged her, sexually assaulted her, and recorded the assaults without her knowledge while she was a student back in 1991. She agreed to have dinner with him on January 3rd, 1991 in Harlem while on a winter break from Syracuse University, according to her lawsuit. And that was when Puffy intentionally drugged her and then took her to a place where he was staying. This is what it says in the lawsuit. Dickerson Neal said that she lacked the physical ability or the mental capacity to fight off Puffy as he sexually assaulted her. I remember her saying something in the lawsuit as well where she had a drink at dinner, and next thing she knew, she was being carried to a limo, and next thing she knows, she's moving around, and she can't control being moved around. She can't say stop, get off me. She can't fight anybody off her. Obviously, she was drugged. She later learned from a male friend who worked inside that Combs had filmed the assault and had showed it to other people, even though he denies these allegations. On the last day of eligibility under the Adult Survivors Act, Lisa Gardner files another lawsuit accusing Puffy of sexually assaulting her when she was only 16 years old. Gardner alleges that in either 1990 or 1991, she and a friend met up with Puffy and R&B singer Aaron Hall at an event that was held at MCA Records in Manhattan, New York. After the party, she was invited back to Aaron Hall's apartment with Puffy, and the two offered her drinks throughout the night, multiple drinks. Combs then coerced her into having sex, leaving Gardner shocked and traumatized. Remember, she's 16 at this point, according to the paperwork, right? She says that Aaron Hall then barged into the room after Puffy was done with her. She's in a state of shock. She's 16. She can't believe what just happened. Aaron Hall barges into the room, pins her down, and then does his thing with her as well. Aaron Hall did not return NBC News or any other news media house's request for comments on these allegations that are involved in the lawsuit. Through his representative, he has denied being ever involved in any such thing. December of 2023, Jane Doe says she was gang raped by Puffy and others at the age of 17. Then in December, Jane Doe filed a lawsuit alleging that she was gang raped and sex trafficked by Puffy and Harvey Pierre, who was a former longtime president of Bad Boy Records. The unidentified woman said that the assault happened in 2003 when she was 17 years old and Puffy was 34 at that time. Now, according to the lawsuit, she met with Combs and Pierre at a lounge in Detroit, and Combs convinced her to travel with them on a private jet to New York City. This is where the trafficking comes in, because you're moving a teenager without parental consent across state lines. Private jet. Before they left the lounge, the paperwork said that Pierre smoked some crack cocaine and then forced her to perform oral sex on him before they even left to get on the plane. Let's see what she about. After she did that, she was then taken to a studio in New York City where Puffy and Pierre and a third person gave her some kind of drugs that she doesn't know what it was and alcohol. And then the three men took turns raping her in a bathroom at the studio after she was too inebriated to consent. The men allegedly left her on the bathroom floor once they were done, and then after she got up, got herself together, cleaned herself up, they flew her back to Michigan. Of course, Puffy, Pierre have denied these allegations, and they call this one a tale of fiction. This is the one that I said is big trouble, because she is seen in a picture in the studio sitting on his lap. Now, even if they didn't do anything to her sexually, how did she get from Michigan to New York City in that recording studio to take those pictures when she was 17? Man, listen. February of 2024, Rodney Jones accuses Puffy of RICO enterprise. And this is where the feds come in, and this is where the raids begin. In February, a man named Rodney Little Rod Jones alleged in a federal lawsuit that Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, and his associates engaged in serious illegal activities. Listen, if you're my supporter, you come to this channel, then you know that I've been battling this thing for about a week and a half now, going on 2 weeks. So bear with the coughing in the background. I don't even think I'll be able to edit out all the coughing. I'm doing this voiceover and I'm trying not to cough. Now, back to Little Rod, or Jones, Rodney Jones, his real name. He worked as a producer on Puffy's latest album, but he also lived and traveled with Puffy from September of 2022 to November of 2023. That's 1 year and 1 month of living and traveling with him, according to his lawsuit. He had alleged during the time that he was sexually harassed by Puffy, pressured to engage in sexual acts, forced to look for sex workers, and he witnessed personally Combs, Puffy, Diddy giving drinks that were laced with drugs to people at parties. The lawsuit said that Combs required Jones to record him constantly, which resulted in Jones obtaining hours of footage in which Combs and his staff allegedly engaged in criminal conduct. Wow. Screenshots of video clips were included in his lawsuit, described as being from parties in which underage girls and sex workers were present. Sorry, not pregnant. Listen, I don't know if this is called putting your foot in your mouth or setting yourself up for failure, but why would you know you're doing wrong, but give this man a video camera and tell him follow you around and video you? You must either really feel like you're untouchable or this can't be true. Jones alleged that Combs was attempting to groom him into having a sexual relationship with him. The lawsuit said that Diddy sexually harassed and assaulted him while he lived at Diddy's homes in Florida, in Los Angeles, and in New York, as well as on a yacht that Diddy rented in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, this man's getting flown out. I mean, he's working on the album, right? And he is there for his expertise, right? Jones alleged that he and another man, Brendan Paul, they were asked to travel with drugs and firearms on Diddy's behalf. This is where the feds got the information about Brendan Paul from. And if you notice, when they ran upon Brendan Paul at the airport, he was boarding a plane with Diddy. They were boarding a private jet. They searched the luggage, and lo and behold, Brendan Paul's luggage had the drugs in it. Just like Jones said in his paperwork. In amended filings, Jones additionally accused Puffy and his son of being involved in a 2022 shooting incident inside a Los Angeles recording studio, but Both men have denied these allegations so far. And an attorney for Puffy said that this reckless name dropping about events that are purely fiction simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner some headlines. In March of 2024 is when, boom, the big raids happened. On March 25th, agents with Homeland Security investigations raided Puffy's properties in Los Angeles, in Miami, and I believe in New York as well. Three sources familiar with the matter have said that firearms were found at his residence, but no additional details were provided. Were they illegal firearms? How many firearms were there? Etc., etc. At the time of the raid, Puffy was on his way to schedule a trip to the Bahamas, and he was stopped at a Miami airport prior to departure. Officials then seized his cell phones at that stop. Dyer, who is one of Puffy's attorneys, issued a statement following the raids and said that Diddy was never detained, but he spoke to and he cooperated with the authorities. He described the raid as an ambush, saying that there's been a rush to judgment based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. And there has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. Now, Brandon Paul, who's 25 years old, he was arrested at the same Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport at the same time that Puffy was stopped at that airport. A law enforcement source familiar with the matter confirmed that Brandon Paul is Puffy's associate and is the one who is listed in Little Rod's claim as the person who is Puffy's drug mule and gun runner. It is currently unclear whether the arrest was related to the raids that was done at the house. Obviously, it was. Paul was named as the employee of Combs in Jones's suit, which described him as someone who acquires and distributes drugs and distributes guns on Diddy's behalf. Combs allegedly required Paul and others he paid to carry black pouches that contained drugs such as ecstasy, cocaine, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms. A Miami-Dade police report shows that Paul was charged with possession of suspected cocaine and suspected marijuana candies, and court records shows that he was bonded out of custody the very next day, within a few hours. According to the police report, local law enforcement was with agents from Homeland Security and customs officers at the time of Paul's arrest. The contraband items were found in Paul's travel bags, just like Little Rod said in his lawsuit. Now, Paul's attorney, Brian Bieber, told the news media house that we don't plan on trying this case in the media. All issues will be dealt with in a court of law. And it is said that they're not answering calls from anybody, so obviously they don't want to be a part of the public fiasco. Now, this is very telling because, see, they were able to take a description from the paperwork that was submitted by Little Rod, and that is exactly what they found when they ran up on Puffy. Y'all do the math to that. But like I said, though, I don't think that Puffy will be going to prison in handcuffs and all that. I think he's got himself set up better where he could at least ride off into the sunset with some of what he has worked all these years for. At least, well, that's what I'm thinking. And again, you know, it might seem really bad right now, but trouble don't last forever. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Do you believe these allegations? Do you believe that they're all true? Do you think that some of these people are actually just out for a money grab? Or do you think that Puffy would probably be joining R. Kelly or going down like R. Kelly did, doing prison time and losing his status as he has it now? I'll catch you on the next video. It's BrainFLoTv / Hot Topics TV. You already know. If the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.